That case is as important to me as the Mother Emanuel case, which was one of the largest settlements in U.S. history. I represented 3 of the parishioners who were killed by a white supremacist named Dylan Roof. We brought suit against the FBI in a suit that had never been done in U.S. history. The settlement resulted in one of the largest settlements in U.S. history. Do you know what is so important to me about the Mother Emanuel case? People all over South Carolina would tell me, man, those were some fine black people, weren't they? I said, no. Those parishioners represent the best in who we are. Not just the black community, all of us. Their lives, their loss, their sacrifice, it is a testament to mankind itself. You see, our state has been divided upon racial lines for much longer than I've been alive. I am a truth teller. And do you know what I believe? That we are all God's children. We are all in this together. The reason why we have been divided, you see, is because that's how corrupt politicians take power away from us. Now, make no mistake about it. This corrupt political establishment in South Carolina, so here's a truth for you. There is a class system in South Carolina. Nobody talks about it, but it's real. There is a political class, there's the donor class, and then there's we the people. When I got out of law school, I could have represented the donor class. I could have represented insurance companies, large corporations. I could have gotten hired. That's not where my heart was. I've represented people for 25 years, okay? Now, what this corrupt political establishment counts on is that W. Mullins McLeod Jr., they knew who I was the day I was born. When I become our state's next governor, I'll be the 4th generation public servant in my immediate family of South Carolina, all Democrats I may add. What they count on is me staying in the private sector, being happy, making that money. But oh boy, they did not count on the good Lord himself putting something heavy on my heart that I can do more. Now here's my confession. I'm embarrassed to say that I made it 53 years without knowing there was a difference between believing in God and knowing God. And that distinction makes all the difference. The truth is, for 25 years, the way I thought this thing worked was I knew he gave me this aptitude to see the truth and speak the truth. I figured that out early on in my career. Now, I got a D in every science class I ever took. If it weren't for a calculator, I couldn't do math. So I don't think I'm smarter than anybody. But when it comes to seeing the truth and speaking the truth, man, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I can see it a mile away. Okay? I thought the way this thing worked was I take this aptitude and it's on me to affect the change that I want to see. Well, guess what happened to me this summer? I fell down. That's right. I fell down. You see, I started researching this failed, broken, and corrupt establishment. 4 months at my desk, the door shut. I put my own work in, girls and boys. I don't need nobody's help. You follow me? I got the receipts on these guys. It's on my computer. And the more I researched, the angrier I became. When I learned that our state pension fund is underfunded by $26 billion, it made me angry. When I learned that they're sitting on a $9 billion surplus, so they tax us, they don't spend it for our benefit, and they stockpile it for their own purposes, I got angry. When I looked at the fact that we are still at the bottom in public education, I got angry. When I saw that our state is 50th in elder abuse, Our seniors, my mother is one of them, is more at risk of elder abuse than any other group of seniors in any state in America. I got angry. And I got so determined to right these wrongs that I pushed myself past my limits. I did. I didn't sleep much. You see, there's a difference between not sleeping because you're anxious, because you're nervous. That ain't me. Before, I didn't sleep because I was eager. When you see wrongs committed against people, when you see political corruption cause direct economic harm to people all over South Carolina, I don't want to sleep. All I want to do is do. But there's a problem, and I learned it. If you rely on yourself for your strength, that is one way to go through life, but you're at risk of falling down. And there is a far better way to go through life. And that is when you rely on God for your strength. That is how you reach your full potential on this side of the soil. So as I went through my experience this summer, what I learned is that God ignites storms in our life, and He does it for a reason: to purify us, to prepare us, and to bring us closer to Him. So after my unlawful arrest, I spent 60 days, no phone, no internet. I watched Charles Stanley, who's a Baptist minister, who's no longer with us. I'm telling you, 4 to 5 hours every day. And I don't mean scrolling through my phone. I mean like this. Okay? 2 things I kept hearing. If you want to know the Lord, you got to get on your knees. And if you want to know yourself through God's eyes, you better read that book. Now, I had tried to read the Bible many times in my life, but it's a tough read. I still talk to him about it. I'm like, it's still tough. But it started getting easier. It started getting easier. So 70 days after my unlawful arrest, I'm watching TV, I'm watching Charles Stanley. My children are upstairs with my wife getting ready for bed. And I turned the TV off and I went on my knees. And when I tell you I surrendered, people, I don't mean I just spoke the words. I gave it all up. My head, my heart, my soul, my flesh no longer belongs to me. It belongs to Him. Okay? And I told Him, Lord, the only thing I want to do for the rest of my time on this side of the soil is to fulfill your plan and purpose for me. I don't care what it is. I'll go to seminary school. I'll keep practicing law. I don't care. And do you know the beautiful thing about once you surrender? Is you have a peace that you've never had before. So see, what I think is going on in South Carolina, what's really going on in America, is there is a spiritual battle. A conflict that is as old as the Bible itself. And that conflict is between we the people, God's children, white, black, brown. We all have the same head, the same heart. You peel the skin off, we are precisely the same human being. Because He made us that way. The world doesn't hear that very often, does it? You know why? Well, y'all know why. That's how they divide us. But see, when they divide us on race, it's an insult to you. But you know what it does to me? It takes away my power. Because I'm more powerful if I'm holding hands with you. I have more power. They don't want that. That's where they divide us. The pastor said earlier, there was a time when Democrats won. He's right. My grandfather was one of the people that helped lead our state through integration. I got something sent to me the other day on my phone that gave me goosebumps all over. My grandfather made the motion about 5 years after Brown versus Board of Education, to integrate the Methodist Church. I don't think it's an accident, you see, that I am his grandson. And I got the same message. I got the same message. And this world's going to hear it, folks. They're going to hear it. They're going to hear it. And so what are we going to do? We're going to win. Let me tell you why we're going to win. It's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. They have never had anybody get in the ring who cannot be bought. The truth is, every single person who's run for governor in my lifetime has been bought and paid for by the donor class. That is the truth. I'm doing something that no one has ever done in our state's history. I'm spending a significant portion of my life savings. Now, my oldest daughter is a senior in college. I have 3 under the age of 9. I got a lot of bills to pay. Okay, I'm 53, but I'm really like 150 on the inside. So I got a lot of life, hopefully, ahead of me. Okay? I'm spending a significant amount of my life savings to fund this campaign for one reason. You. So you can have a governor you can trust. So you can have a governor that belongs to you and nobody else. I am determined to give the people of South Carolina the opportunity to have a governor that belongs to them, that will do the people's bidding all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. The people of South Carolina have not seen that option in my lifetime, and that is the truth. You see, as I go around the state, there's a power that's happening, and it's called discernment. It is more powerful than politics. It is more powerful than political parties. It is called the truth. That truth that lives inside of us. What is happening in our state right now is people are hearing this truth and they are responding. Our power bills are higher because of political corruption. Last legislative session, the power companies got this failed, broken, and corrupt establishment to pass a law that literally gives the power companies the right, the legal right, to jack up our power bills to ensure the power companies' profitability. That is so corrupt, it's hard to imagine. Have you ever noticed how the governor, they say, well, we don't have any power. The legislature passes the laws. Baloney. That's because they're in on the deal. If I were governor last legislative session, I would be having town hall meetings all over this state saying, folks, they're trying to rig the deal. They're trying to rig the deal. Here's your legislator's phone number. Here's his or her email. Blow up that line. And guess what? White people would blow up the line. Black people would blow up the line, and so would brown people. Guess what? Republicans would do it. Independents would do it. And Democrats would do it. Because nobody wants to be sold out to the power company. Come on, man. But that's exactly what they did. You see, the role of government is to protect people from these large for-profit corporations who want to rig our deal. But we have not been protected. Instead, we've been sold out. It is true, and it's a little harsh, but politicians and dogs have something in common. They don't bite the hand that feeds them. Well, I ain't no dog and I ain't no politician. I have shown the political class something in South Carolina they have never seen before. They're used to that. You know what they've gotten from me? That. And that makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. Our schools. We have a problem in South Carolina. Our schools have been underperforming our children for longer than I've been alive. Okay? Now, why is that the case? Right now we have a teacher shortage. Do you know how this failed, broken, and corrupt establishment attempted to solve the teacher shortage in South Carolina last legislative session? They passed a law that says that teachers no longer have to be certified. That does not solve a problem. That creates more problems. Do you know how you solve the teacher shortage problem? The old-fashioned way. You pay them what they're worth. I have said it out loud, and mark my word. When I'm governor, public school teachers will make between $85,000 and $100,000 a year. Now, I'm not a politician. It's only going to take $1.2 billion to get our public school teachers from where they are now to where they need to be. Okay? They're sitting on a $9 billion surplus, so I know where $9 billion's hiding. Okay? We bring in $45 billion a year. I am confident that there is at least $1.2 billion of fraud, waste, and abuse and redundancy in this bloated system that we can cut out and go to our teachers. And the only way I will not make good on that is if the legislature refuses to do it, and trust me, I will wear them out. You see, think of this campaign as a funnel. Right now, we're here in the funnel. But when we get to November, it's going to be like this, and it's going to be very clear to people all over South Carolina. You either walk in the light or you walk in darkness. That's it, Jack. That's the only two people that exist on this earth. You either walk with the truth in the light or you live on the dark side of the moon. And so when I have those town halls, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have one little piece of paper, and it's going to be the financial disclosures of the senator and the House member. And I'm going to show their constituents that they bought and paid for by the for-profits. And when I'm done having that town hall, trust me, folks, it don't matter. Political parties, I'm hurrying, they will know that their representative either lives on the light side of the moon or the dark side. They will fold like cheap suits. I could talk all night. I cannot tell you in one word the passion that lives in here for you, literally for you. When I tell you that I'm running this race because there is no doubt in my mind that this is God's plan and purpose for me. And you know the beauty of it when you truly, it's not enough to love him. You got to fear him too now. You got to love him with a whole heart and fear him with a whole heart. Because you start thinking this about you, he will pop you so fast. I know that I have a right to petition him to find out where I'm headed. I'm not going to petition him because it don't matter. I go where he takes me. I go where he takes me. You know where I think that's going to be? Is in November. This thing called South Carolina that we love so much. Her history is complicated. It's painful, but it's been part of her journey. I think she's going to be reborn. Reborn into what she's always supposed to be. Fair, just, equitable. I'm the first candidate in South Carolina political history to say, you know what, if you get up every day and go to work, the state is required to ensure you're paid a livable wage. Think about that. I'm the first person. That's not an accident. It's because the for-profits don't want people to get up every day and go to work to be paid a livable wage, and the politicians have been doing their bidding.